Hey humans, what's up? I'm Brian Williamson. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. We are here today to talk about season 2 of The Ultimatum. It's Lesbian Christmas, baby. I'm currently in post-production for my 6-episode queer web series. It's a spooky comedy. I wrote it, I directed it, I acted in it, and it's all gonna be for free here on YouTube, all 6 episodes. And we so appreciate your support because queer indie film is tough to make, especially in the current world. The brands are pulling out from rainbow capitalism, I'll tell you that much. The sponsors that were once there are there no longer, and the world in general, as most of you are probably feeling, is just a dark place. So any support for queer art is so appreciated because I want to keep making it and I want to keep putting representation on your screens that is free to watch. And this is a free way to support me, the cast, and the crew, and hopefully get us to season 2. All you have to do is go and follow us at Basement 51 series over on Instagram. We are giving away t-shirts to folks that do so. It's just one click, it helps us out, and you can also help us out by subscribing to this YouTube channel and turning your post notifications on so that when those episodes premiere, you get them. But I would love if you went and followed Basement 51 series on Instagram. We are also doing the cast reveal at 1,000 followers. Thanks so much for your support. Truly, it means the world. Now we're gonna jump into discussing some unscripted television. Queer Love Ultimatum made waves across the world when it came out. I mean, The Ultimatum was something, but there was something so special about putting lesbians and queer folks on that show. It was just reality TV gold. And if you've been around for a minute, you know that I'm reality TV obsessed in general. My favorite show ever is Survivor. Big Brother's a close second. I just love really any reality television. But as a lesbian, getting to watch the dynamics of other lesbians, yes, there are the stereotypes. Yes, it's cringy. Yes, it's over the top. And there's the arguments from certain people in the lesbian community that are like, this isn't the representation that we need or want. And to them, I say, boo, have a little fun, all right? Straight people don't get the representation that they want with the people that get chosen to be on some of these reality television shows. That's not what it's about. All representation doesn't have to be perfect. It's boring to put a bunch of just really well-adjusted lesbians in a room and watch them discuss in a really PC way being queer. That's boring. That's not good reality television. Reality television is made for this garbage, okay? I love to see it, and I am a fan through and through of the Queer Ultimatum, and I'm so excited that there's a season 2. And because there's truly nothing in the world that I would rather talk about, I will be recapping every single episode of this season of Queer Love Ultimatum right here on this channel. So if that's something that you're into, again, please make sure you're subscribed. I know it's easy to just find these videos on your homepage, but it helps me out. I have a goal of getting that YouTube play button this year. I'm at about 88,000 subscribers, so I need about 12,000 of you to hit subscribe right now. That would be literally the coolest thing ever. So I would really appreciate it, and I will keep these videos rolling for you. But we're gonna kick this series off with reacting to the teasers that The Ultimatum has given us so far. The teasers are pretty great. You know, sometimes trailers, teasers, they don't give you much. But I'm already developing opinions on these people just from these clips, and I'm gonna share them loudly today. Because here's the other thing. If you go on reality television, people are allowed to talk. I'm a believer in that. If you go on reality television, expect people to discuss you, your relationship, the way you handle yourself on the show. I understand there's edits. I understand all of that, okay? But when you sign up for this, you're signing up for dialogue around your relationship. And I would never generally comment about people's relationships in the way that I'm about to. But to me, you're on The Ultimatum, so it's fair game. So we're gonna just dive right in. But I wanted to say that first because I'm sure at their core, these are all good people. I'm aware that there's edits involved. I'm aware that they're on reality TV. There's certain pressures. They're in front of the cameras for the first time, potentially. I get it, okay? But I'm just gonna take what I see at face value and I'm gonna react to it. That's part of the fun, right? Some of these people might prove me wrong during the season. I might one day, as I have with season 1 folks from the Ultimatum, meet some of these people in person. I might become friends with some of these people through the social media world and have a completely different opinion of them once I meet them in person. For now, this is what I got, so this is what we're gonna react to. Let's jump on in. Okay, so up first we have Britney and AJ.
Britney, you issued AJ the ultimatum.
Yeah, I'm ready to get married. I feel like I've always been a very goal-oriented person in my life, and I'm at the point where I met most of them.
Yeah, I love that. Congratulations.
I like how the least excited person in this room is their partner. Like Britney was like, I'm goal-oriented. I have literally made all my goals reality. Everyone's like, yes, love it. And AJ's like, again, I know editing can be a thing, but not your partner being your biggest hater.
So, yeah, marriage is honestly the next step.
Okay, so Britney's delivered the ultimatum, and AJ... Let's see what AJ's excuse is for not wanting to get married.
I tell Britney all the time, is like, her beauty is just so radiant. I feel like the stars literally try to combust just trying to compare with you.
Oh, I can't get over the love bombing immediately afterwards. Like, I feel like everyone's been in this type of relationship where you're saying you want something very specific and the person's like, what if I just say these other nice things instead? You know, it's like, Brittany's like, yo, I want to get married. And AJ's like, have I ever told you that you're similar to the stars in the sky? Okay? It's just such an obvious tactic to avoid the actual conversation. So I have a sneaky suspicion that we are going to find out that AJ is very avoidant when it comes to talking about anything real or getting real about things. But could be wrong. We'll find out. Next up, we have Ashley, she, her, and Marita, she, her.
Like nothing set in till tonight. I know. You know, I'm giving you this ultimatum because I want to marry you.
Is it just me or do they look really similar? Like I can't tell who's Ashley and who's Marita, but I feel like that's kind of classic for some lesbian couples. Okay, so let's see who wants to marry who.
I want to marry you. I really do. You're like a rare find in the world.
Okay, so Ashley wants to marry Marita. I just love the silence here. Like the silence says it all. Ashley's like, I want to marry you. You're a rare find. Marita's like, different tactic than AJ, right? AJ's like, let's fill the quiet with compliments. Marita's like, I'm just going to say nothing at all. Oh my God, I just read the screen. But you just have like wandering eyes all the time? Marita.
You just have like wandering eyes all the time. And I don't understand it.
Well, what a great place to be for Marita. The problem in our relationship is that Marita has wandering eyes. So let's go on a show where the whole premise is Marita is supposed to have wandering eyes and see basically if there's anyone else out there for Marita. Interesting strategy by Ashley. I would love to know which half of this couple suggested this, right? Because if it's Ashley, I feel like the strategy here is go ahead. You can see if there's someone else out there. I'm going to finally give you your chance because you're basically doing it anyways back at home. And if it was Marita, I think Ashley got bamboozled because I think Marita won here. Miss Wandering Eyes now is on a show where the whole intention is for her to have wandering eyes. Marita said not a word. We have no clue what Marita's voice sounds like, what her thoughts are, because Marita's strategy once again is that's Marita. Marita's just vibing. You know what? If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. Okay, so we have Kyle, she, they, 30. Oh, it says right here, that Kyle is the ultimatum giver. Then we got Bridget, she, they. I already have something to say about these two, but I'll wait to see what they have to say.
We've talked about what I see in the future, and you know that
makeup.
marriage is
an important part of that. So I am issuing you an ultimatum.
Oh no.
This
is the first time we've seen Kyle and they're already crying. Oh no, I already feel sad for Kyle.
something that I realized that I wanted. Being with you helped that. And so it sucks that you're not there.
I don't want to do something that I'm not totally behind.
This show, why it's so fun is imagine going through something like this with your partner and thinking it's a good idea to go on this show. Kudos to these people who give us this entertainment, because Kyle is clearly like going through heartbreak over this, right? And Kyle's partner, I forgot their name already, but but Kyle's partner is just kind of watching them go through this devastation. Is clearly like, you know what, I'm just not really into the whole marriage gig. And they're like, you know what, might fix it if we go on this super traumatizing show. It's just crazy. The other thing I have to say about these two is I saw the whole cast photo, and immediately I was like, there is no way that either of these two is going to want to be with anyone else on this cast. And hear me out on this, but these two are a specific type of queer, right? First of all, she-theys, okay? That's a specific type of queer. The haircuts are giving she-they, right? And the rest of the cast, with the exception of maybe one or two, honestly, like AJ presenting more masculine, everyone else looks so like she, her, middle America, Florida, pumpkin spice sorority sister. So these two, I don't think, are running in the same circles. Their queerness is not presented in the same way that the rest of the cast is. I don't know if you're picking up what I'm laying down, but I just don't see these two being like, oh my God, yeah, you know what? The love of my life is here. And it's not you. There's different subcategories of lesbians, and I just don't see anyone else on the cast being these people's type. I could be wrong. We'll find out. Okay, we got Haley, 29, is the giver, she, her. Do you see what I mean? Like, look at Haley and Pilar. Okay, Haley and Pilar are not the type of couple that Kyle and their partner are going to be swung by. These two are just like so like cookie cutter femme. And I just don't see that being the person who opens their eyes to another possibility. And there's nothing wrong with that. These two look like nice, wonderful women. It's just an observation. It's just a totally different type, in my opinion. Okay, so Pilar received the ultimatum. Let's see why Pilar doesn't want to go to the next step of life, which I'm assuming for most of these people is marriage.
There's just no one that knows each other like we know each other. But I do know that there is one more deeper step that we could take, and I want it.
There's a lot of emotions. We got together when we were 18.
I'm not a hater on first loves or like high school sweethearts, because I understand for some people that works. But I do think the difference between when you're 18 and 29, like you have to be so prepared to grow together, and maybe they have. But I just know that the person that I wanted to date when I was 18 is definitely not who I wanted to date when I was 29. And I think it's a unique scenario when people can be together for that long from so young and it works, especially if it's your first like queer love. I think there's such a connection there, but also I think that there might be some feelings of never having dated other people or had like that experience. I don't know, maybe I'm projecting, but
I came out to my family. Our relationship's never been the same, and my mother hasn't talked to me since.
Okay, so Pilar is the one. I literally was getting them confused too. So Haley's the one who gave the ultimatum. Pilar was in the closet for most of their relationship. And then when she came out to her mom a couple of years ago, her mom has never talked to her since. That sucks, obviously. That's awful. And what the fuck is wrong with parents? Like, seriously, it's 2025. Imagine not talking to your kid anymore because they're dating a woman. So insane. But that's for a different day. I think, honestly, though, maybe it's not for a different day, because the whole through line for a lot of these couples on this show, it's so crazy where you see, like, the straight ultimatum, right? And these people have all these different relationship issues. all these reasons why they're not getting married. And for the most part on the Ultimatum queer love, it's like so much of it is external. And that's such a shitty thing for queer people that we have to endure, that even if the internal of your relationship is great and you know you've found your person and things are working within your relationship in such a fantastic way, there's all this external shit to endure that straight people just don't have to go through. Like, I genuinely believed that a lot of these couples, if family dynamics, because of homophobia, wasn't an issue, then they would be married. You know, they would have no problem with it, which is so sad and so fucked up for so many reasons. But yeah, like, I know it's easier said than done, but talk about living for other people. Like, there's just gonna be so many regrets in life when you make these sorts of choices. And I understand that's so easy to say, but like, fuck. I don't know what going on a Netflix show is gonna do about it, making out with other girls, but hey, maybe that's the magic key. Okay, next we have Dana. Dana is 25, so she's like the youngest so far on the show. Megan.
I feel like I've been ready to marry you like 6 months after knowing you, honestly.
Okay. Classic lesbian. So she's like, I met you and I was ready to marry you. What the fuck's going on? I wonder how long they've been together. Because if 6 months in she was ready to marry her, that's pretty quick. I understand being like, I knew you were the one, but I wonder if it was like pressure from the start for marriage, or if it was just like I knew you were the one situation, which is, I guess, fine.
I come from an Arab household. I'm Lebanese. My family doesn't want me to be with a woman.
So this is, again, another classic where it's like there's these two people. I'm making assumptions here that love, but I'm assuming they love each other. They want to be together. And the family is putting a stop to those things because of the pressures. And I know that there's so many people that can relate to this. And that's why this kind of representation is important too. Because yeah, it's not perfect and it's silly, but also, you know, there's going to be so many people that relate to that. Megan's Lebanese, but there's, you know, so many cultures out there. There's so many beautiful things about having strong ties to your culture in your family. And that's something that I always feel like I missed out on. You know, not having like the food and the traditions and those sorts of things. I've always been envious of friends growing up that have a really strong connection to their background, their culture, whatever you want to call it. And these are the moments where I'm like, you know what? I think I can just go to the Lebanese restaurant. Hearing the pressures and the family dynamics that comes with having a strong bond to certain cultures, it's a lot of pressure for queer people. And jokes aside, it's super shitty. But again, it's just also sad. And I also empathize with these partners on the other side of it. I know where they're coming from, where it's like, hey, listen, I'm respecting your family and your culture. However, we only have one life to live. You know, I could get hit by a bus any day, and you're really living it for everyone else except for us. And I know that's easy to say, but it's kind of true. Like, when you're not wanting to rock the boat and you're just trying to keep everyone happy, sometimes the person who loses is your partner, right? And unfortunately, that's the person who should be your priority. And instead, they get the short end of the stick. A relatable situation for so many couples out there, so many queer couples. So the cultural aspect is tough.
In the community, portraying yourself in a certain way is very important. Nobody's out and proud. I'm giving.
Sad. Nobody's out and proud is such a sad statement, right? Like that, oh, that's like a knife to the heart.
Megan the ultimatum because I need security that we have a future together. I want you to take into consideration, we come from different places. I think it's hard for me because it's like a reality check for me, like the things that were...
Like, I get both sides of this, right? There's so much pressure, but I also understand from her partner's perspective, it's like, yeah, okay, I'm respecting your time and your pace with your family, but I also want certain things for my life. I don't know, I'm putting a lot on this person, but they've said they want marriage, and then maybe it's kids or whatever it might be. If it's not going to be with you because you're going to put your family's beliefs and expectations first, I need to hit the road and find me another person, right? And that's fair. Like, I think that both people are allowed to set their expectations for their future and make those boundaries. And it doesn't mean anyone's right or wrong. It's just choices, but it doesn't mean that the partner should have to be along for the ride of homophobic nightmares. So even if they are surrounded by really good food. Now I want Lebanese food. Yeah, so this is interesting. I also, this, just to bring it back to the silliness, it's so funny to me that it's like, hey, I don't want to get married to you because no one is out and proud of my culture, you know, my family. There's so many pressures of how you present yourself and expectations. And then it's like, let's go on a Netflix show where not only are we going to be out and loud about our relationship on camera, but also if your family, especially culturally, has some qualms with queer relationships, I don't think seeing you with your long-term partner hook up with other people experimentally is going to help those prejudice beliefs become positive. Like, I don't think it's flipping anyone. I don't see how this in any way could be a resolution, especially if your goal is getting your family to think of your relationship in a different way. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anyone has to care about the way their family thinks. Like, you can go on a show like this and be like, I don't care what my parents think about it. But clearly this person does care what their parents think about that. It's stopping them from getting married to their partner. So how, in what world are they like, this is a good idea? This is going to make my parents like see me as valid. This is going to make your parents think you're a crazy person. Even non-homophobic people think that people on these types of reality shows are crazy people, think that these relationships are insane. So I don't think this is necessarily the best path to take.
Leading you to an ultimatum with me, straight up saying like, this isn't enough for me. Like,
so
I
do you
will
take
walk
it
away.
serious?
Yes, of course I take it seriously.
We have Marie, 27, is the giver of the ultimatum. Do you see what I mean now by the looks of these people? Like, yes, there's been a couple more mask presenting folks like Megan and AJ. It's not about mask or femme. That's not what I mean. But Kyle and their partner, I don't think are going to be swung by anyone else on this cast, because even the mask presenting folks are like very cookie cutter mask presenting folks, right? Like, they're not like the like quirky, artsy New York like vibe. And Kyle and their partner, I just don't think in this pool of people are necessarily gonna find someone who clicks. That's just my opinion. And then there's Mel. Okay, again, like Mel is maybe more mask presenting in that blazer, but like, again, there's not enough mullets on this cast is what I'm trying to say.
No shit.
4 years.
4 years. I never see myself with anybody for 4 years.
I've never seen myself with anyone for 4 years. Okay. What a weird thing to say.
So the fact that it's you and
okay, that's better. I spoke too soon. The fact that it's you and us, it makes me really happy that we were together for 4 years. Okay, she clarified it. I spoke too soon. I judged too soon.
the fact that it's us, it made me really happy. But also I think that the past few years, being that our food truck shares our anniversary, it's something that
Your food truck shares your anniversary? Your food truck shares your anniversary. Like, did you get your food truck on day one, or like on your 1 year anniversary, you're like, time for a food truck? And also, why would that matter? What? I just think that's the weirdest statement ever.
we've overlooked a little bit.
It overshadows. It absolutely does. Like, and maybe that's like a big part of why I feel so put
to the side.
to the side.
Okay, I'm sorry. These two lesbians have a food truck together, and that's their issue. Okay. What? Like, hey, listen, I know I want to marry you, but the thing is, we have a food truck. So I don't know how we do both. I don't know how we do the engagement and also have a food truck. How are we going to have a wedding? Who's going to be running the food truck? Like, I get that businesses are hard, but everyone, unless you're retired or a trust fund baby, has a job. And they still get married. engaged, the whole thing. They have a food truck. That's their problem. They have a food truck. Okay. My findings altogether is, unfortunately, I hate to generalize, but it seems like for the most part, with the exception of Kyle, the most mask presenting folks are the shitheads. And I don't know what is going on with that, because I know that that is not true to all relationship dynamics, but because we're speaking to the nature of this show, for the most part, it feels like the femmes are looking to get married and their mask counterparts are like, which is such a weird through line. I'm still confused about the food truck drama. Like, you got a food truck. Okay. Sure. Like, I understand it's tough to be an entrepreneur. I get it. But, you could leave the food truck long enough to go film a Netflix show for God knows how many weeks. I don't know how you can't take an hour in an afternoon to get down on one knee and get engaged. Little odd to me. And I think I already have some people that I don't like just based on first reaction. And again, that's not in the real world. I'm not saying I don't like them as real people. I'm saying as characters on this television show, I have my favorites and I have my not so favorites. I really like Kyle. I think they seem really genuine. I think their partner seems genuine too. I just think it's weird that they went on the show, to be honest. But I mean, I guess you could say that for everybody. I think Ashley seems like a sweetheart. I think she's gonna just be absolutely tortured by her partner with wandering eyes. I truly don't know why she's doing this to herself, but I think honestly it's going to be for the best. I think what's going to happen is her partner's going to fuck around. Ashley's going to be heartbroken. They're going to break up, like most of these people. Like, most of them are going to break up. That's just the reality. And then she's going to go on to find someone better who doesn't have wandering eyes. So as much as I think she went on the show probably with the hopes of securing that relationship, I think the opposite's going to happen, and then she's going to win coming out of that. Britney, I think, is stunning and beautiful and clearly, clearly successful and goal oriented. I think that her partner AJ seems like a bit of a douche. That's what I'm gathering so far based on the love bombing after Britney trying to talk about the marriage component. I think there's a weird amount of people who look the same. Like, I'm just looking at them on my computer screen right now, and I'm like, they all look so much alike. Yeah. Those are my initial thoughts, and I'm so excited to watch this season of Queer Love Ultimatum together. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be recapping every episode with you right here on this channel. So please make sure that you're subscribed with your post notifications turned on. Give this video a thumbs up, and it really helps support my channel. It's free to do, so I really appreciate it. And also, don't forget to go follow at Basement51 Series over on Instagram and support queer indie film. Please, we need it more than ever. Let me know in the comments who your faves are, who you think are going to be the villains of the season, and I will see you on the next episode. We're here every Wednesday and every Sunday. Bye.